All right, we got two systems coming our way, one Thursday into Friday, and a bigger one for Saturday into Sunday that could be a little more impactful. So let's break it all down. So here's a look at the European model, and this is actually starting later in the day on Thursday. So we could already see some rain coming down by about 6 or 7 o'clock in some cases. Now, as I put it into motion here, you can see over the next 3 to 6 hours, it really overspreads the state. We're starting to see by Marquette and Munising especially, the snow come on down. But anywhere from the eastern UP, Straits area, northern lower, Traverse City, we're going to start to see some rain. So yeah, there will be some melting of the snowpack up north. A sizable amount, but it's going to be brief. So notice as we go into early Friday morning, this is 7 o'clock, we still have the snow ongoing across the upper peninsula, and we still have rain ongoing across the lower peninsula. Now with this system, it's not going to wrap around and cool down in terms of snowfall. Look how it just keeps going right off to the northeast. So we're going to keep the mild weather to the south and some cooler conditions off to the north. Now there's not much of a break here because this is already Saturday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're already dealing with the next system. So we had one come in Thursday into Friday, the next one pretty much first thing Saturday morning, lasting all the way through our Sunday. So here's how it looks into Saturday afternoon. This is 4 o'clock. We have a pretty good swath of snow coming on through for much of the state, and right there, this is when we're going to start to see a lot of heavier snow develop for the upper peninsula and northern lower, and we could even see some lake enhancement off Lake Huron as well, which I think this model might actually be picking up on just a little bit too. This is starting to get overnight now, Saturday night into Sunday. We'll stop it right here, which is Sunday, 7 o'clock in the morning. We're still seeing the snow ongoing. The little black lines, by the way, are indicating a lot of wind. So once we get later in the day, that's when we could have some snow wrapping around, maybe even some lake effect crossing the state before some more traditional lake effect starts to take place. Now, something else we can look at is the AI enhanced European model. This one learns a lot as we go, so it really kind of takes away some of those outliers and crazy data, and it performed really well during hurricane season. It's performed a couple of times pretty well so far, actually, for the last couple of winter storms as well. So the track of the low pressure really means everything. This one has it going from northeastern Indiana right over the thumb into Lake Huron, where it hangs out for a little bit before moving on into Ontario and Quebec. So that means that we're going to have a swath of snow for northern lower in the UP and some rain down to the south. We can break it down even further, though, by taking a look at some of the enhanced ensemble forecast from the European model. So there's also the AI ensembles, and now this one is kind of putting a low pressure for every single little individual model instead of averaging them together. So here you can see that there is still a spread in where exactly the low pressure will be positioned, and whether it swings back to the west or swings over to the east, that'll have a pretty good impact on, of course, where we see the heaviest snow, where we see the rain, where the warm air comes in, and things like that. So here we have the probability for 6 inches of snow or more. Notice that is centered across the higher terrain west of Marquette and the Huron Mountains, as well as much of the Upper Peninsula and Northern Lower. We can also take a look at the possibility of just 3 inches or more, which is over a much more broad area because it doesn't take as much to hit that 3-inch mark, right? So think of it as, you're seeing kind of like a pile of snow here, and this is indicating the wider area at the bottom, and then of course the peak of it is only going to be in a small localized area. So you have the 1-inch possibility here, which is huge. 3 inches gets a little bit smaller. 6 inches, we're nearing the top of that mound of 6 inches, right? And if I go to 12, it's barely existent, but some areas do have a small possibility of hitting 12 inches out of this.